This is the Times Television Network, and you're watching ET Now.
CEO and MD at UD Trading Group, and he joins us on the show from Singapore. Hi, what do you sense really, Thomas, when it comes to the metal prices? I would also want to start with iron ore because the prices here have been declining all of this year. Do you see demand and prices improving going forward?
I still think there's a little bit of pain to be taken on the downside, just on the supply dynamics. I think the statements across the industry is fundamentally that the big boys are going to continue to produce, and that they're basically going to push the smaller players to the side. So I don't think it's over with. Got some seasonality too. You're coming into winter sessions in some of the production areas as well as consumption areas. So a little bit more of a challenge, I think, going forward.
Thomas, also the steel industry has seen pressures to high output from China, weak demand in the emerging markets. What's the trajectory forward for the steel prices?
You know, steel has a life of its own. It really is driven by core, industrial demand and very regional flows. And there was a commentary I saw last night that was just talking about, they're talking about the recoveries in the West versus the slowing down in the East. So steel can balance itself out. It's really about logistics. But there's a core inherent demand there. So I think it's really going to be driven off of its feedstock, really going to show how steel is going to move going forward.
And Thomas, we've seen base metal prices under pressure also because of weak demand from China and Europe. The inventories have been on the higher side. What's your sense on metals like nickel and copper?
I don't see demand slackening. Copper has retraced several times over the last 12 months only to rally back, and it's in another one of those modes, it appears, off of some U.S. demand or the potential U.S. demand around the housing sector. Equally so, nickel, because of the supply dynamics in Indonesia and all of the questions around opening up of the mineral as opposed to refining processes, they're flattening out. But there's still going to be, I think, some inherent volatility in it, but also demand. I don't really see it slackening overall.
This is the Times Television Network, and you're watching ET Now.